Welcome to AstroTea, everyone. This is your weekly astro forecast that we host every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, 3 p.m. BST. We finally had daylight savings over here. And this is where we're going to take a closer look at the transits and cosmic energy of the week ahead. So join our group here on Clubhouse and share with your friends and family so they can get the tea too. And the 2023-24 astrological calendar is here, and this is going to be your bestie for the next year of zodiac signs. This calendar is going to be broken up into zodiac seasons instead of the Gregorian calendar months, so you can align with nature and the seasons with your major planetary transits. We also have new and full moon dates in there, chakras, body parts, and the tarot, and mine looks so adorable on the wall. If you have not already purchased yours or the AstroTea journal, go ahead and click the link at the top of the room to access all the exclusive tea. What else do we have, Soul?
I was telling Empress, I got my calendar in the mail and it's absolutely beautiful, so I'm so excited to start using it, and I'm excited for y'all to use it too. And thank you for the people that have supported so far. We got a few orders in last week, and I'm really excited to hear from you when they arrive and what you think about them. So thank you again for your support, and in advance for your continued support as well with the calendar and all of the other things that we decide to launch in the future. So we're going to get right into it. Monday, March 27th, we have the moon in Gemini will be squaring Neptune in Pisces. And we're starting off the week with potential fogginess and uncertainty. So there might be something that we want to power through and take action on, but have this nagging feeling that we don't have the full picture yet, or all of the information necessary, or have like this lingering blind spot that presents a significant obstacle for us to move forward with the clarity and the certainty that we would like to have when making, this important decision. So this can leave us feeling emotionally scattered or anxious, or kind of just like on edge, right? Feeling like that energy, that nervousness in our bodies about not knowing if we should make this decision. And it can also leave us prone to overthinking about what our next move should be. So it's important for us to ask questions and engage in conversation to get more information that could potentially help us with our decision making. But I would also advise that today may not be the best day to make important or life-altering decisions. Later on this week, we have the moon conjoining Mars and the sun trine the moon. So those are definitely better opportunities for us to gain more insight on how and when to move. And to do so confidently, right? And with the clarity that we need. So for now, Monday is a day to go inward, to reflect, to spend time with a creative outlet, especially art, film, reading, or music, to really kind of get those ideas, that energy out of our minds and into some sort of outlet, right? And so the moon in Gemini is never short on ideas, and Neptune in Pisces never short on creativity. So we can ease the tension of this square by engaging both of these energies without feeling the need or the pressure to take some sort of action or get some sort of clear answer. Like, how do we fuel and channel this energy without feeling like, okay, what is the end product or the end result or the decision that I have to make? Because I don't think this is the best day for that information to come through. And so remember that we're getting to know ourselves, right? This new upgraded version of ourselves that is unfolding throughout Aries season. So it's difficult to see the process with a bird's eye view while simultaneously going through those changes in real time. And we won't fully understand the magnitude of self-discovery and self-transformation that we're going through until like September of this year during the full moon in Aries. So that's happening during Libra season. That's like the culminating point of everything that was opened up and initiated during the start of Aries season and the new moon in Aries that happened last week. So it's like we won't really be able to see hindsight until at least that point, right? In a concrete kind of way. So for now, it's just important to go through this process, to have the faith that we might not always know and have definitive answers, but we can still walk by faith in the meantime while remaining curious about the process that we're going through as well. So that's what I have for Monday's energy. What does this look like in the tarot, Empress?
I love how this energy is coming through, particularly after a really wonderful conversation that you and I had from last week. But then even I'm seeing this energy happen today. And so for Monday, with the moon in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces, in the tarot, this is the High Priestess in the Lovers and Knight of Swords energy squaring the Eight of Cups. And so now that we are in the spring season, we're officially in spring, the ball is now rolling with this cardinal energy of Aries, and there are illusions that cannot be sustained in relationships because we're not in Pisces anymore. We're in Aries. Illusions that can't be sustained in relationships that may have all parties involved in different energies. Some of you may be feeling energized. You like, I have to hit the ground running. It's Aries season. I'm actively manifesting with the new moon in Aries. I'm going to put, all the action in to get the results. I'm waxing right now with the moon. Others in the collective may still be in that stagnant yet talkative energy, right? They still might be in, that Pisces energy a little bit of like still being a little bit vegetative, a little bit more relaxed about things, and that water vibe, like just go with the flow, bro, like chill, no, we're in fire now, okay? And so that may not match up, You might have that stagnant yet talkative energy that you are in or that you're receiving that has them saying all the right things, but their actions aren't matching up. Today, the High Priestess in the Lovers and the Knight of Swords is emotionally open to have conversation and share their feelings of passion as well as the qualms in the relationship. So as Soul mentioned as well, yes, today is a great day to open up and really be truthful AF with people you are in relationships with on a day like today, and use that High Priestess to tell them how you really feel, because the High Priestess is in the Lovers and Knight of Swords energy. Sit down and have a conversation and really just be honest, bear it all, like put it out there, shine the light, put it on Front Street. Okay, be emotionally open to have conversations and share your feelings of passion as well as what qualms you have in the relationship. This energy is squaring the Eight of Cups, which means some of us are choosing to focus on where we are going independently and what plans we're acting on, and the relationship is secondary right now. My priority is me. It's Aries season. My focus is what goals I want to accomplish, what balls I want to get rolling, pause, and go forward with to see my manifestations. So the relationship other than my divine feminine masculine right now is coming secondary to me. For others, this Eight of Cups is a decision to walk away from the relationship after hearing too much lip service. And this is a decision that can be made, as Soul said, later on in the week where we have transits where it would be more beneficial for you to make those types of decisions, rather than today when it's more about the conversation of, the revealing of how you really feel with the High Priestess in the Lovers. And so right now is not the time to just talk about it. It's the time to also be about it. So whatever you end up communicating about, whatever you agree to, whatever you have conversations about, be willing to not only talk it through and bring up truth, but also be willing to have the action to sustain whatever truth comes up and see it through. So right now is the time to do that. Whatever plans you've been saying you want to manifest to others in a relationship, back up with your actions at this time. This is the time to do that. I love what you mentioned as well. So I made a note about getting to know ourselves. When you said getting to know ourselves, you know that song, I think it's in Sound of Music, where she's like, getting to know you, getting to know. I think that's Sound of Music, right? But yeah, that song came in my mind, really getting to know yourselves. And that really sunk into me that we won't understand until September what this is that we're going through, because we're literally experiencing this in real time. We're going through it, so we're not able to see and for it to make full sense until we are seeing a way out. So love today's energy to open up the week. Let's get into tomorrow's forecast, Soul.
And we talked about that last week as well, like about getting to know ourselves more by asking ourselves more questions, like this current version of ourselves. What are our likes? What are our dislikes? What are our goals? What are our values? Like we talked about that last week about self-interrogation is very important during this season. We're kind of like a newborn all over again. So continuing with March 28th, we're on Tuesday. we have the moon in Cancer conjunct Mars in Cancer. And I really like this transit. This is happening on a Mars day as well, and at 1 degree, which is an Aries degree. So a little bit more of that Martian energy in the mix as well. So this is a powerful transit that provides some much needed clarity and energy compared to Monday's hazy confusion. So today we're feeling sharp, energized, and intuitively guided on our actions. And it's all about discerning where and how to best channel this energy, starting by checking to see where we have 1 degree Cancer in your natal chart, right? Wherever that falls into, that's going to give you some insight, a little bit of a clue on where you can take action, right? Take intuitively guided action as well. So you have the potential to be very magnetic and inspiring today as well, and like motivating other people because of your ability to influence and play to the emotions of others, right? We're talking about Cancer, it's people's feelings. So Mars in Cancer is being energized based on how you feel. The moon in Cancer conjoining with Mars, it's like, okay, I feel this way. These are the emotions that I get when I interact with this person, and therefore I'm going to move or take action in this particular domain. So we can kind of have that influential energy of like a tide, right? We're like calling things in or pushing things away based on what it is that we want to see and energize and get moving. So this is also a great day for cooking and cleaning the home, right? Especially with increased energy levels, like you might have an increase in motivation to get some meal prepping done, or to clean your home, or to invest in some way in your home, right? Maybe it's a DIY project, or it's like starting, a new chapter of something that you said that you were going to do in terms of decluttering or organizing, or just doing whatever it takes to feel more emotionally comfortable in your home. And when Mars first went into Cancer, I talked about food and ancestry being at the forefront of this transit. So I spoke on learning about our roots, uncovering family secrets, going through photo albums, creating a family tree, setting up a family altar. Like, this is a really great day to take initiative on that. And what's really beautiful about this day is that despite Mars being fallen in Cancer, it's conjunct the moon in Cancer, which is in its domicile or at home, right? The moon feels very natural and organic and at home in Cancer. So it adds a degree of softness, of peace, of presence, and intuition that makes this day very special to take advantage of. So spending time learning about the women in your family, right? Or spending time with a woman in your family, your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, your great aunts, right? Learning a particular family recipe, tending to your family altar, being a healing presence to help resolve family tension, especially between generations of women. So like, for example, your sister and your mother don't get along, or your mother and your grandmother don't get along. How can you be that intuitive, emotionally intelligent healer to help resolve some sort of conflict that they're engaging with? And also with this being a Mars day and happening at an Aries degree, like I mentioned, there's a level of action, courage, and conviction needed here. And definitely the right thing may not be the easy thing on this day, but you have this intuitive knowing that it is what needs to be done. And on the main stage, I was getting, in terms of the collective, we might be seeing articles or news headlines or some sort of like information that's released about women, mothers, families, how those things are shifting or changing, especially as a result of like the pandemic, like the new modern family. Like, what does family look like in 2023? Family dynamics, gender roles, families being separated, matriarchal families or communities or societies, or families being impacted by war or violence. So, that could be some topics of conversation in the news that we might be seeing unfold specifically on Tuesday, and then like later into the week as, the energy unfolds. So that's what I was getting for Tuesday's energy with this moon and Mars conjunction in Cancer. So what does this look like in the tarot, Empress?
For Tuesday, we have the moon in Cancer conjunct Mars in Cancer, and in the tarot, this is the 2 of Cups conjunct the 3 of Cups energy. And today's forecast is really looking productive and emotionally satisfying with the 2 and 3 of Cups here, which is why when you were just saying that, the forecast for the astrology, it's just like it makes sense, spending time with family, doing those things that feel good, that bring a lot of healing. I can definitely see that. there with these energies in the tarot. This energy also brings up elevations of all kinds, that ability to celebrate, to relationships and friendships of all kinds. And this is based on realizations from yesterday's transit, being able to really be forthcoming with your emotions with the High Priestess and the Lovers, and like get to the root of relationships in terms of how you both feel how you feel you both stand, where you feel you stand in the relationship, and being honest about how the relationship makes you feel really helps to promote that elevation and celebration I just mentioned, and realizing like we both really want the same thing. We're just going about it in different ways, and that leaves room for that lovers, that ability to be different but to come together and have harmony, right? And so this is that celebration of relationships and friendships. This is based on, not only those realizations, as I said, from yesterday's transit, and also, manifestations coming about quicker because multiple people are manifesting the same thing on the same vibration and seeing quick results in creation with the Three of Cups. So this is as well, getting together with, all of the women in your family, as Sol mentioned, and then just having like an affirmation celebration, speaking positive affirmations on yourself and on each other, having a ceremony, doing a ritual together, just spending loving time together and healing, continuing that energy from yesterday and today, and having that conversation. Maybe you and your mom had a conversation together that now can be branched today into your grandmother joining the conversation, or other people in the family, that it causes all of you to be lifting your glasses like the Three of Cups and toasting like, we're so glad that we did this. We all wanted to accomplish this better feeling. Now we're in Aries season independently, and now we have removed emotional blockages that allow us to do that and also have better harmony in our relationships moving forward permanently, right? And so you can see quick results with all of you now being focused on the same things for yourselves independently and being happy for each other genuinely. You can see things manifest so much quicker because now you are all manifesting on the same vibration, and it's helping for you to call it in quicker because there's a united front. And I'll go into that more when we have the Saturn and Pisces transit. So this energy just shows the potential to also meet someone that matches you, with the Two of Cups energy also here with this conjunction. Being able to celebrate and have some type of elevation when you meet someone that can match you in terms of cups and make you feel bubbly inside, right? From the square we experienced on Monday, this could also be partners stepping up to responsibilities, finally bringing that cup to the stage. You were there holding the cup by yourself, and then Monday happened and you had that conversation, and now we have the Two of Cups showing up, two people coming and bringing a cup. So it's like them realizing like, I do need to bring something to this relationship, even if it's just being more open with my emotions and sharing things and how I feel, right? And so this can be that step up of responsibility, and also getting aligned with the Aries energy and focusing on plans that require action, okay? You may also be meeting new friends or potential lovers while socializing with this Three of Cups, or even as you're being productive with plans. So like Three of Cups, you're out getting, a drink at work, but it's a non-alcoholic drink. And then you turn around and you splash your cup and it, flies on this like Rico Suave looking dude. And, and then you're like, what? And all of a sudden you have his number walking back to the right. Hot tamale, exactly, So it could literally be that kind of like situation that happens very unexpectedly while you're doing something productive. So do productive shit, because you might meet the man or woman or person of your dreams, while you're doing and being in that action that divine wants you to be in right now. You might meet somebody at the gym, girl, you might be on the elliptical, you might be doing the Stairmaster, and you turn around when you're about to jump 2 steps up and you see somebody staring at you, like it could be anything. In the produce aisle at the grocery store, picking up key limes so you can do a water detox. This energy is happening today to emphasize that when you take action, spirit does too, especially when it's aligned with your path. So take those actions, do those productive things that are going to help you be who you see yourself being in the future. And you might run into people that might also accompany you in that future version of yourself. So let's get into Wednesday's forecast. So
absolutely. And I love how you mentioned speaking affirmations or speaking like positivity over things, because that was something that I was getting for Wednesday's energy. Wednesday is also like a really beautiful transit to talk about. So Wednesday, March 29th, we have the moon in Cancer, sextile Venus in Taurus. And this is beautiful, sweet energy coming in between the moon being at home in Cancer and Venus being at home and its feminine expression of Taurus. So it's like the moon is comfortable here, Venus is comfortable here, and now they're forming this Venusian aspect called a sextile, right? Sextiles have that Venus energy of like they're supportive, they uplift, they bring some sort of like guidance or things like that, some general type of support, right? So this is a day about being open to receiving life's gifts, life's love, life's abundance, the beauty and hidden treasures as well that like we won't be able to even realize if we're too busy to smell the roses, you know, taking that time. This is not kind of rushing energy, understanding that yes, we still are in Aries season, so things are moving quickly. We're making decisive actions, right? We still are struggling with impulsivity and spontaneity, but this is a day where like the pace feels a little bit slower, right? The moon more or less squaring the sun in Aries is kind of like, hey, like I have some motivation, I have some pressure to just slow things down a little bit and to enjoy the beauty, enjoy life a little bit. And I think this is really what this day is about. So this is a harmonious aspect between two signs that prioritize comfort, right? Cancer prioritizes comfort when it comes to emotional security, and then Taurus prioritizes comfort that deals with material security. So they're coming together to support and uplift one another on this day. And as a continuation to Tuesday's energy, this is also a great day to show love and appreciation for the women in your life, especially the women in your family. So Taurus, earth signs are all about acts of service, right? Showing your love through some sort of action or bringing comfort or a sense of ease to this person's life. So maybe it's you're going over to your mom's house or buying her groceries and stocking her fridge, or you're helping her on a home improvement project, or you're visiting your grandma to see if there's anything that you can do, or even if it's just spending quality time together, right? Showing that action of appreciation towards the women in your life. And it's also a great day to spend time in the garden. Like spring is coming, some areas are definitely a little bit warmer, and it's like the perfect time to start repotting or planting your seeds and your, like, you know, the plants that grew over the winter. At least I know, like my mom, she has Venus in Taurus, so throughout the winter she had like a little mini greenhouse indoors where she's had like an LED light on her little plants and seeds, and now they've grown so much over the past few months and they're ready to be transplanted into something a little bit bigger. So this would be a really great day to spend time in your garden, or at least, you know, whether it's laying out a plan of what vegetables and fruits do I want to grow this year, kind of, you know, thinking about tending to the earth or nature, or at least spending time around plants, flowers, and nature in general, and talking to the plants. So that's what I love that you were talking about speaking affirmations for the day before, because I was getting like singing to your plants, naming them, speaking affirmations over them. You're going to notice a difference in your ability to connect with your plants and discern what they need. So whether they need water or less water or sunlight or a bigger pot, like having that type of relationship with your plants of like naming them and speaking affirmations to them, it really does strengthen that connection, because plants they're alive, right? They're living beings. They listen, they hear, they see, they feel. So spending some time, you know, around your plants. And also it's important to express gratitude for all that we have on this day, especially like our internal qualities and the intangible aspects of our lives, like expressing gratitude for those things as well. I'm grateful for my integrity. I'm grateful for my kindness. I'm grateful for my ability to always figure out what to do, like those kinds of things, the things that aren't necessarily material, but people also can't take from you either. It's going to make a huge impact on our emotional well-being and the feeling of being grounded and secure. And especially for those in partnerships and relationships, it's important for us to recognize our own value and our positive qualities so that we feel secure in the relationship, and that our partner adds on to an already stable self-worth. So this is a great day for quality time with your partner, your family, and your loved ones, especially around rest and relaxation, food, right? Cooking or sharing a meal together, and physical touch. So whether that's hugs, cuddles, a massage, holding hands, like this is a really great day to be intimate in the same space as people that you love and care for and appreciate. So that's what I have for Wednesday's energy. All like overall very sweet and just slower day with the pace that we had last week, right? Where we had so much going on. I feel like this week is a little bit more like we're trying to stabilize ourselves with all of the major changes that we had from last week of the new moon, Pluto in Aquarius, Mars in Cancer. So I think we'll be feeling a little bit of a slower shift in our pace this week. So Empress, what does this look like in the tarot with this sextile?
Today might sting a little bit for a few people in the collective in terms of the tarot perspective with this Five of Pentacles. And so I'm like, yes, like I love the energy of the Astro and I agree with it. I also want to I feel like what I was getting in terms of a download was still touching on emotional security and financial security, but also the status of the emotional and financial security of each of us individually right now in the collective. And so for the moon in Cancer sextiling Venus in Taurus in the tarot, this is the Two of Cups sextiling the Five of Pentacles energy. And the first thing that started, like, I heard a song in my head and it was like, back then they didn't want you, now you know, and then I was like, Mike Jones, stop, like move. And then I was like, okay, what is this really trying to, and then it was like, back then they didn't want you, but now that you're doing better for yourself, they have a love offer. And this is for, some specific people in the collective. With this Two of Cups sextiling the Five of Pentacles energy, it's possible to have success with the same people that you felt lack with, as long as you both are willing to offer something to the relationship. And so for some of us in the collective, this is an opportunity to get back to why you got married. Relationships, I feel, and it's 333 right now, I feel like relationships for all of us are a spot right now. They're a highlight spot because we left out of Pisces, the last zodiac sign, and entered into the new astrological year with Aries. And with the Pisces, you have more of that emotional connection to the collective. But with Aries, you're starting and it's all about you, baby. You're like you said earlier, Soul, and I mentioned this as well later on in the week. I was like, what the heck? But it's literally like Aries, you're a baby, and children are very self-centered, right? At those younger ages, they want it to be about their security, how you're emotionally making them feel, how you are financially supporting their survival, right? That emotional and financial security. And so, not to get too wrapped up, for some of us in the collective, this is an opportunity to get back to that. Why did I get in this relationship in the first place? Why did I get married in the first place? Why did I see this person and notice them and then pursue them and continue to go with them in the same direction? What drew me to that? Getting back to that, this can bring up our intentions. This will bring up our incentives in getting with someone for survival, for security, and not love. Because some of us in the collective are, in this Aries season, like, oh, this person's not doing this and they're not doing that, because they're all things that you don't like as an individual, which rightfully so. But at the same time, you need to look at what your intentions are in the relationship. This can bring up, like I said, those intentions and incentives. I'll get with you because I'm not feeling abundant and things would be easier if we were both codependent on each other type of energy. When you start a relationship out of that lack energy, in order to transmute the energy, you both have to realize and admit to why you got in the relationship. Then you can make changes that open up opportunities for real love. No one's saying throw your relationship away if that's not what you're feeling. Everyone has a different, everyone has different assignments right now. No one's trying to tell you break up. No, you can. Just like you're possible, it's possible for you to change. Other people it's possible for them to make changes as well. But guess what? You first have to go back to Monday's transit and communicate your emotions and let them know how you're feeling. And then you can come back to this point at Wednesday when you're able to decide, why did we start this relationship? Let's have a real ass conversation about this relationship. What were my incentives or intentions in getting with you? If we both were in lack when we got together, now let's transmute that shit together. Let's admit that we were not in the best state, or we're not in the best state now, and take actions, get the ball rolling, make the changes to open up opportunities for real love, because we're able to support and sustain each other and have that emotional and financial security together by embracing each other's independence in the relationship. And so this is also readdressing the recommitment that needs to be made with some of us, with our divine feminine and our divine masculine on an internal scale. Because you thought this relationship battle was only happening for people in real relationships? No, fam, no, sir. It's happening to each and every one of us on the inside too. It just might feel a lot more intense for those of us in the collective that are dealing with it internally, and we got somebody in our face on the outside. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Okay? And so because the lack of harmony is what presently has you feeling a lack of love and financial stability right now, that's what's causing you to now feel that someone outside of you is making you lack, because you're really making you lack, but you're not trying to admit that. Right? So today's forecast is an invitation. An invitation for what, Empress Lazuli? An invitation to become aware of any deficiencies that you feel you have in your life right now. Where do you not feel secure financially? Do you not feel secure emotionally? What other deficiencies do you have that affect your ability to feel stable? Why do you feel that way? Ask yourself why you feel that way. Why do you feel you have that deficiency? When did it first begin? When's the furthest back that I can remember that I started having these feelings? Asking questions like this will bring awareness to you on how you can get to feeling more confident about yourself and about others wanting you. Because for some of you, it's a feeling that no one would want you, based on where these feelings of insufficiency came from. We're working on our solar plexus chakra during Aries season. So speaking affirmations, again, I'm bringing up affirmations. I am confident being my true self. On this Mercury day, saying affirmations like that can assist your mental processing of what is emotionally coming up for you. So the emotions and thoughts connect, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine connect, and it makes sense. Light bulbs go off. Yes. When things make sense, we have those Oprah aha moments. Aha! You know? Isn't that the noise she used to make? Ah, right? Then we're able to effectively plan and take action to manifest better. Okay? I feel like there is a clear road in front of me. Why? Because I embraced the energy of Aries and did so much spring cleaning yesterday. I'm so proud of myself for taking that action and doing that, because I would hate to know what I would feel like if I didn't do that. You know, if I had come to do this episode of AstroTea today and I hadn't taken care of that, if I hadn't taken those actions and been confident in what I wanted to focus on and what plan I wanted to see out yesterday, then I don't know how confident in my true self I'll be feeling today, because I didn't listen to my true self yesterday. So stop going through that pattern, if that's you, of not feeling confident in your true self today because you didn't listen to your true self yesterday. And that cycle, it's a new year, right? New year, new you, boo. So let's go into Thursday's transit. I'll leave it there. So
that was beautifully said and gave me a lot to think about as well. And this is it's a very introspective week. Like, we have a lot of Piscean energy, Gemini energy, Cancer energy. And in a way, yes, Gemini can be more social, but it's that curiosity of asking questions, right? Cancer's our emotions. Pisces is about our relationship to source and spirit. So there's a lot of introspection going on this week. And we'll see a little bit of a shift in that later in the week. But for now, we're on Thursday, March 30th. We have Mars in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces. So this is happening at 2 degrees. So there's a little bit of that Taurus energy in the mix here as well. So what I was getting is that some of us have been experiencing emotional walls, emotional barriers, and emotional defense mechanisms that have required a lot of energy from us. And that has been taking away from our ability to co-create with the universe. Like, the way that we've emotionally been feeling, or just really the pursuit of seeking emotional stability has taken a lot of our manifestation and magic energy away. And blockages in our ability to envision due to emotional turmoil and emotional instability. So not being able to see the path like right in front of us, or kind of like, what can our life look like in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, right? I was talking about this the other day, that even as a Capricorn, my relationship, like, I'm so grateful for Pisces season, right? All those sextiles to my Capricorn stellium really made me realize, like, I don't plan in the same way that I used to. Like, I don't necessarily have a 5-year plan of like, all of these literal mundane things need to be checked off in 5 years. It's more of like, how do I want to feel in 5 years? Okay, I want to feel abundant. So what does abundance look like? What does abundance feel like? How do I feel when I wake up in the morning and I'm living a life of abundance? What time do I wake up? What's my routine like? What do I eat? What do I spend my time doing? It's like very visual. And then it's like, all right, I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna hold on to this vision because this is where I want to be in 5 years. And these next 5 years that I have, I need to focus on minimizing the gaps between who I am now and this vision of myself in 5 years. It's a lot more visual and holding on to an energy and a frequency than like, I want to have this amount of money, I want to have this degree, I want to have this, like, that's how I've lived my life as a Capricorn stellium, like, up until this point. And I still do. I have literal things that I want to accomplish in this life, but I'm not putting a certain amount of time on them. I know that me being in the right frequency will allow the doors to open for those opportunities to happen in ways that I didn't even like think of, right? Like, for example, I want to get certified in Reiki, right? And I've just put that intention out into the universe. I'm still deciding on where to go, what kind of practitioner I want to learn from, where the money gonna come from. But like, I know that me just visualizing myself as a healer and a practitioner in that way is gonna open up opportunities in ways that are way more effortless than me perhaps like stressing about like, okay, I need to find a person, I need to find a school, I need to find the money to do that. Like, it'll happen when it's supposed to, as long as I hold that frequency. So I think some of us are blocked even in our ability to do that. Even what I was just saying, like, okay, abundance. What does abundance feel like? What does abundance smell like? What do I do when I live a life of abundance? Our emotional blockages have taken away from our creative and visionary abilities as well. So ideas, dreams, and visions are not coming through as clearly or as effortlessly because of our emotional responses to the truth as well. And it made me think about Encanto with We Don't Talk About Bruno, right? Why was Bruno the villain? All he really did was just tell people what I see, like the part where he's like, your goldfish is gonna die, and then like 3 days later my goldfish died. All he was doing was telling the people what he saw, but it was the way that people felt, the way his visions make people felt. It's like, oh no, he's a bad omen, oh he's negative, oh we don't talk about Bruno, oh we need to just hide him beneath, like between the walls of the house, he could stay with all the rats. Like, we don't talk about Bruno. All he did was make y'all feel uncomfortable with what he was seeing, right? So that's kind of like, it's like our inability to really process and reconcile the truth based on how it makes us feel, and that's impacting our abilities as seers, as psychics, as intuitives. Like, can you be an obedient, open vessel if you're not willing to process the downloads that spirit gives you? Like, no, it doesn't make you as effective of a seer because you're putting your emotions on what you're even allowing yourself to see. So even if you're not a official, like even if you're not a practitioner of spiritual gifts as like your job or your vocation, like we still all are intuitive beings. So even if it's your ability to manifest, how am I going to make this money? How am I going to get this car? How am I, whatever, insert whatever goal here, it's difficult for us to see the path. And Saturn has been calling a lot of us into higher levels of leadership, responsibility, and willingness when it comes to our faith, our magic, our spiritual practices, our occult knowledge, our intuitive abilities, and our creativity. And we have to do the work of getting our emotions in order so that we know how to act decisively, right? I think a lot of us have been running from that calling in the first place. Like, I ain't doing readings. I ain't doing that. Oh, I don't want to teach people. Oh, fuck people. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't, I think a lot of us have been running from that calling. And discipline, endurance, and adaptability are being asked of us right now to help build a secure foundation for us and generations to come. So there's an opportunity for us to initiate, right, with this cardinal energy, new ways of being in flow while resisting the need to control the process and the outcomes. What tasks or goals can we consolidate or reprioritize? Which actions can lead to the most impactful domino effect of getting other things in order? And it may not be the thing that you expect. Like, instead of trying to bulldoze through a to-do list, it's like getting myself emotionally regulated will actually create the most impactful domino effect, and I'll be able to do all of these other things instead of just saying like, nope, I gotta do it, I gotta work hard, I gotta put my head down, I gotta get this done, I gotta, like, that may not be the most effective way to really get your life in order. And don't lose sight of your plans when you experience delays, because that feeling of limitation is spirit helping you prioritize your list of things to do. So it's like, if you feel a door closed, it's because that door is not the top of your priority list right now. So, and if you surrender and have faith to the fact that it's spirit that's orchestrating this, you might actually experience ease and effortlessness through increased support by shifting that task to a later time. So like with the example of me wanting to be a Reiki practitioner, instead of me being like, I have to find the money, I have to find the school, I have to do that right now. It's like, in opposed to that, if I just surrender and say, you know what, spirit, I know you'll bring me the teacher, at the right time, right? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So like, spirit, I know you got me. Who knows that I end up, that I don't just like meet someone out of the blue who's like, hey, like, I mean, I'll give you my course for free. Like, I would love to learn about astrology. I'll give you my Reiki course for free. And then it's like, oh, that's so much easier and way more effortless than the way that I was trying to go about it, right? Stressing about the money, stressing about where and when and who and how and why, right? So I also feel like a lot of us are gravitating towards other people who are answering the call of being teachers, leaders, healers, and elders in a particular domain in order to bring healing, support, and resources to our communities, to our networks, and our families. And just know that whatever energy you put into, especially if it's like charitable work, right? Whatever energy you put towards that has the power to intensify and actually bless everyone around you as well, especially since we're dealing with a Jupiter day, right? Where our ability to focus on what spirit has for us has the opportunity to bring abundance and blessings to everything and everyone around us. So that's what I was getting for Thursday's energy. What does this trine between Mars in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces look like in the tarot?
Yes, that was beautiful. And on Thursday, with Mars in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces, today's forecast brings up emotionally connecting to like vibrating people to create. And the world is in the Moon and Knight of Cups energy now, with Saturn being in Pisces, where the world is aware of how powerful it is on its own due to its connection. When you look at the world card, there's usually some type of ribbon that covers up the intimate parts of her body, and it flows in and out of the infinite circle that's around her, right? The wreath. And so this is representing, because it's typically purple, it's in my decks typically, represents that spiritual connection, and right? Her knowing I'm always connected. But this trine with the Three of Cups, it's imagining what 3 divine beings that are powerful could do. 3 or more divine people that are connected to that spiritual, that spy can do. There's definitely spiritual power that is being dispersed among the collective right now. But with the Knight of Cups, who will be offered that power? It will be those that have been structuring themselves to receive that power by connecting to the spy and investing in stabilizing the connection, right? And so, like Kanye said, no one man should have all that power. So divine is dispersing the energy among those who have the best connection, those who have been doing their spiritual hygiene, those that have been keeping their vibration at a specific, practicing keeping their vibration at a certain level, even if this person's trying to piss you off, even if this person's being slow in traffic, even if that person got your order wrong, even if that person is talking to you crazy. Keeping your vibration at the frequency you want to be. Those moments of practice where you just keep your vibration stabilized is you practicing connecting and keeping and maintaining a stable connection, right? So those are the people that the connection is going to. Those are the people that energy is going to. Those people that have the best connection. Those are the people benefiting most right now. Those people getting together to form a powerful community, right? That's what's happening right now. Everyone's getting together to form those communities of people based on like mind and like vibration, and impact the collective in a positive vibrational way. And that's what this transit is bringing up. And especially because it's a trine, right? The Trinity, Holy Trinity, Triad. This is happening on a Jupiter day where energy expands and benevolence is experienced by those who benefit from the energy. So work on your spy today. Trust your intuition today to lead you to people that you can form a soul collective with. That will restructure the way that people view spirituality and remove societal boundaries by you being appointed to positions of spiritual leadership. As we've mentioned, right? From as early as Aquarius season. So all this now is coming into being as we're coming into the new year and kicking things off with Aries energy. That's it for Thursday's forecast. Let's get into Friday, so.
Yes, so Friday, the last day of the month before we transition into April, we have the Sun in Aries trine the Moon in Leo. And this is a really great opportunity for us to observe and experience the magic of ability meeting willingness. The Sun in Aries is projecting forward confidence, vitality, self-awareness, increased energy, courage, confidence, and it uplifts the Moon in Leo, which can bring forth emotional strength, loyalty, commitment, joyfulness, creativity, and the willingness to fight. The Moon is also conjunct Lilith on this day, which may cause our fears of being seen or being judged for our creative efforts to rise to the surface. And this is happening at a Capricorn degree, which serves as a reminder that we are building brick by brick a legacy that is greater than us, that is more important than a singular emotion such as fear, insecurity, or self-consciousness. And it's what we do in these moments of fear or uncertainty that determines where we're headed. We want greatness, so we have to have the courage and the strength of someone extraordinary. We want to be a leader, so we need to have the self-validation to execute a battle plan when others look to us. This is about feeling grounded and assured in our divinity, our regalness, and truly walking this earth as a king or queen. And remember, ego is loud and spirit is still. So walking the earth as a king or walking the earth as a queen doesn't mean being like pompous or arrogant or having to like rule over other people. It's something that you just know, right? It's something like it's a calm confidence because you are self-assured, which is what Aries season is even about. And it's rather knowing that certain actions and feelings and ways of thinking are beneath you, and that you can't subject yourself to patterns that you established at a time in your life when you didn't know your worth, right? We do the best we can with what we have. But when we know better, it's on us to really make those transformations and initiate new ways of being. Again, the task at hand during Aries season. So what are those things that are beneath us now, right? Whether it's certain people or ways of relating to certain people or certain behavior, certain actions. If we were confident in who we are, who we're becoming, what would be beneath us, right? What are we above now? And today is a really great day to put yourself out there and to be in the spotlight, to really work the room, right? Turn on your charm, turn on your confidence, turn on your ability to speak passionately about the things that bring you creative joy, to put the shyness and your fear to the side, because you really, especially since this is a Venus day, just by being yourself and really allowing yourself to shine in social spaces, you may receive unexpected support and like you're called to be uplifted in rank or position that gets you one step closer to your goals just by being present at that intersection of ability and willingness that I was saying at the beginning of this transit. So I am able, I am confident, I am capable, and then it's also willingness, right? I am willing to put my emotions to the side. I am willing to step out of my comfort zone. I am willing to initiate new patterns and ways of being. So what is the magic that happens when we are willing and able and really show up as that version of ourselves is a question for us to think about for the last day of March, right? Again, these endings and cycles of endings and beginnings, right? We had the end of Pisces season into Aries season. Now in terms of the Gregorian calendar, we have the end of March into April. All of these are really important checkpoints to say, like, what can't come with me on this next chapter? What behavior, what way of thinking, what people, what habits, like what can no longer come with me on this next chapter? And I think this Friday is a really great day to think about being our brightest, most confident self and seeing the experiences, the opportunities that magnetize themselves to us just by showing up in that regal, confident, self-assured energy. So before we get into the weekend, that's what I have for Friday. So what does this trine look like in the tarot, Empress?
Yes, that was literally a call to action for someone, because you just literally got a phone call like while you were saying that. So that's for someone to just resonate with, sit and resonate with that. So for this energy we're experiencing on Friday, we have the sun in Aries trining the moon in Leo, and this in the tarot is the Three of Wands trining the High Priestess in Strength and the King of Wands. And so sometimes our will to see our manifestations come into reality is the only thing we have to hold on to sometimes. When everything else around us is testing the strength we have in ourselves to see a challenge through, that's really the only thing we have to look into, that Three of Wands. What ship do I want to see show up on the horizon right now? Me focusing on that is the only thing I have right now to see this challenge through. And that is where Mother, High Priestess here, aka our intuition, and Divine Spirit come in to let you know that everything is all right. And you give it completely over to them and trust them to take care of it. Right? All you can do is walk in your light and blindly trust, like a child, that mommy and daddy will keep you safe. And it's us coming back to that realization in Aries season that we, as children of the divine, can really do that. We really can go back to divine feminine and masculine energy and be like, help me. And then you just trust and you listen to your intuition and you take the actions, right? You listen, you're like, you go back and you're like, I don't know what to do, Spirit. What do I do? Oh my gosh, like this situation is like, it's bigger than me. Like, what do I do? And whatever your intuition tells you in response, as long as you trust that, and then divine masculine's gonna be like, okay, do this, do that, and you do those actions, you unite those, that's what happens. We as children of the divine can really go back and do that. And by trusting, I mean trusting your divine instructions and acting on them. Trusting that your actions will get you exactly what you had in your sights, like the Three of Wands. Today's a day to stand on the ledge of life and really trust divinely that the two of you make a great team and can work together to accomplish anything. Spend time visualizing the plans that you've already written down and that you've already dreamt about. If you don't know what you want, then today's the day to get clear on that. The ball's rolling already this Aries season, so will it leave you behind? That's the question right now. This energy is just like a wave of fire that doesn't burn you, but it burns away the debris and the clutter of last year, like spring cleaning, to reveal a more direct path to your destination. So knowing your destination is super imperative to catching this wave of energy, and I'll get into that more tomorrow. Let's get into tomorrow's transit soul.
Yes, so at this point it is April 1st. It is April Fool's Day. It is the first day of a new month. So for Saturday, April 1st, we're talking about the moon in Leo square Uranus and Taurus. And I remember when Empress and I were choosing the transits, I was like, okay, what is the most like April Fool's, like got him, like transit that is going on for this day? So we picked the moon in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus for that little unexpected razzle dazzle of anything being possible for April Fool's Day. So what I was getting when I was meditating on this transit, I kind of saw two different scenarios. So the first was wanting to flex or be seen in a particular light, or perhaps someone being prideful in a certain situation that they act out of this feeling, you know, of wanting to flex, wanting to impress people, wanting to seem like the man, right? And I say that in a gender neutral way, like wanting to just big up yourself, you know, and like look better and bigger and wealthier and flashier than everybody else in the room, or feeling prideful in a situation that led you to take some sort of financial action or reaction rather, that then brings a level of financial uncertainty or responsibility because of that purchase, right? So like, for example, like you're, you know, oh, I'm gonna buy everybody at the bar shots, or oh, I got it, I'm gonna do Uber Black for my whole friend group. This girl I'm trying to impress, I'm gonna take her to this restaurant and do this and pull out all the stops. And like, you know, there's a fine line of saying like, I'm doing this for you versus like, I'm doing this for my ego. You know, there are acts of service that it's really like, we know the person, we know what they like, we want to honor them, but sometimes we do things to make ourselves look good, like, oh my god, you shouldn't have, oh my god, you bought me this, oh my god, you're the best, oh my god. Like, it's more for ourselves and our validation than it is to really show our love and appreciation to the other person. So it's like, you make this decision to buy everybody at the bar shots, and then you realize the next day that your account is overdrafted, or you have some sort of financial responsibility or financial priority that you neglected because in that moment you were thinking about the flex. You know, you were thinking about impressing other people rather than just keeping your head on straight. Or, so that was one scenario, right? Again, this energy can manifest in a bunch of different ways, and it may not be literal, right? I'm speaking to the energy itself and trying to understand it and break it down. The other scenario that I saw was kind of the flip side of this energy is having a creative project or an idea that by doing what you can with what you have, right, being resourceful, being innovative, being creative, being diligent, being obedient and committed to your craft, right, having faith through action in this project or in this idea, you actually receive unexpected support from a family member, a member of your community, a member of your fan base, or some sort of investor, right? Whether it's a formal or informal, someone who wants to invest in you and this idea. And someone sees you in that moment of really enjoying your craft and doing what you love, and that contagious energy inspires them to want to be part of your success. So either way, right, what I'm trying to get at is that there will be some tension between our self-worth and our appearance, right? Whether it's like our literal appearance or like how we come off to people, how we're seen in the world. And that pressure and how we respond to the pressure will show us something about ourselves and our self-worth and our ability to validate our skills, our gifts, and our talents. So even if the response is internal, right? We're dealing with the moon here. So maybe you're not buying everybody at the bar some shots, but like you walk into the bar and you see a beautiful woman. Let's just say, for example, for our women in the room, right? You're at the bar and you see a beautiful woman and like you don't do anything. You don't feel the need to flex and stun on her, but internally you kind of shrink yourself. You're like, damn, like she's way more beautiful, or like, oh, I don't feel as confident anymore. Like even if the response is internal, right? Let's say you don't take some sort of overcompensating action, but that response to shrinking yourself or negative self-talk as a result of a person, place, thing, or experience causing you to feel insecure is an opportunity for self-awareness. And it's opportunity to initiate new ways of validating your own self-worth for yourself, right? Which is what Aries season is all about, like being self-assured, understanding the unique qualities that you bring to the table that cannot be replicated by anybody else, that doesn't need to be compared to any other person, place, or thing in the room. So it's really like when unexpected situations can have the potential to take us for a loop in terms of our confidence, in terms of our self-worth, it's how we respond in those moments that really show us something about ourselves and our relationship with our self-worth and where we can improve upon it or bring some stability and security to it. So that's what I was getting for Saturday. What does this square look like in the tarot? I'm excited to hear what you have to talk about.
Yes, so for Saturday, with the moon in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus, this is April Fool's Day, and one of the reasons why we chose this is because of how we have the Fool card coming out in the tarot. So for the transit in the tarot on Saturday, we have the High Priestess in Strength and the King of Wands to represent the moon in Leo, and that's squaring the Fool in the energy of the Hierophant and King of Pentacles to represent Uranus in Taurus. And sometimes we choose to pretend that we don't understand instructions when we really do, but we're just trying to put off doing something. And sometimes when we do that, sometimes when we try and pretend like someone else is the fool, it really makes the joke on us. You know, the joke is really on us. We're really fooling ourselves when we do things like that. Some of us in the collective think that it's okay to start fresh every single time they feel uncomfortable. Oh, someone's triggered me. Oh, I'm leaving. Oh, you want to say, shut up to me? Oh, I'm hanging up the phone. Oh, like every time you feel even a little, you put your big toe in the water at the beach and you're like, oh, it's too cold, I'm leaving. You drove 2 hours to get there. Like, where are you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of you are too quick to just like the fool, pack up, or just leave everything behind and just leave and run all the time, right? You never want to be in an uncomfortable situation. You never put yourself under enough pressure to actually become a diamond, right? And we all start out as undeveloped diamonds, per us talking about babies in Aries season. Some of us don't like to start fresh because we're scared of letting go of what is comfortable with this Taurus energy. The High Priestess in strength squaring the Fool really has us feeling like a fool today, possibly through unexpected ways. But for some of you, a child may say something to you that about your ability to commit with the Hierophant here, or not even a child, anyone says anything kind of like you mentioned as well, Soul. Someone saying something that really, comes for the way that you feel about yourself and the way that other people see you. And because they say this, you get upset. This could be information from your mother or father that you get unexpectedly, or even with the High Priestess and the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles here, any male or female figure that you respect, right? Today emphasizes why we have a plan at this point in the year, and why having a plan is so vital, as I said yesterday, because that realization that you have a plan is what will help you see the spiritual G-check that moms like the High Priestess have to do on their own children sometimes to make sure they're ready for the world. Sometimes mothers will do stuff to their children or ask their children certain questions to G-check them and make sure, I just want to make sure you knew, what 56 pennies plus 25 pennies is. So that, if you go out and whatever, you're prepared, just to G-check you. Sometimes that will happen, right? And so stick to your plans and commitments right now. Right? Today is a day where the High Priestess is doing a G-check to your strength, to see how courageous you are, to see how willing you are to stick to your own guns. Even if someone doesn't approve, even if someone has something to say about it unexpectedly to try and make you look like a fool. This is also an opportunity for you to have the strength and conviction to look inside of yourself emotionally and see any blocks to the potential strength and confidence that you can have, and stop avoiding situations and stop avoiding instructions that God, good and well you understand and receive. Spirit sent you that message how many times? You know good and well what they want you to be doing right now. You know good and well what industry you need to be in right now. You know good and well what kind of content you need to be putting out right now. Don't act like the fool anymore, because it's not going to serve you. And so take that in on a day like today, this G-check that's happening. You're going to feel like a fool. If you want to act like a fool, then Spirit's like, okay, here you go. Right? Stick to your plans and commitments right now. And rehearsing your routine for the play. I don't know who had a chance to listen to the YouTube video we put up last week for the first week of March. That was so much was going on for that week. So if you guys have not had a chance, definitely go back. It's timestamped so you can listen to specific days. Very easy, straightforward, quick, to the point, right? So many great transits last week. But I spoke about Miss Trunchable. I spoke about Pluto, Leo, and Aquarius, because we have Pluto that entered Aquarius last week. Okay, and this is a point right now in this week that I'm speaking about for Saturday, for April Fool's Day, where we're rehearsing our routine for the play that I talked about last week with Pluto entering Aquarius. Because Miss Trunchable, which is Pluto, is in behind the stage, in the backstage, we'll say, right? And she's walking up and down. She calls your name. When she calls your name to present an opportunity for the collective to see you shine, you'll need to be warmed up to perform and pass, right? Or feel that high-speed spy-fi connection to spirit that's being dispersed right now. So get your warm-ups in, take these spiritual G-checks that the moon is giving us, especially all up and down this week. We've had so many moon aspects or emotional G-checks, right? To check our emotional security, as we talked about. And I'm going to leave it there. Let's get into Sunday to close out the week. So,
and we have one last moon transit. Speaking of moon transits, on Sunday, April 2nd, Palm Sunday, we have the moon in Virgo is opposing Saturn in Pisces. So the image that I got for this day was someone being uptight with their face all scrunched and their arms crossed, and someone even like a child, right? A child comes up to them and puts a loving hand on their shoulder and asks in this compassionate, sincere way of why do you take things so seriously? Why are you so upset? Why can't you smile? What is there to be upset about? And Saturn is the planet that we traditionally associate with discipline and strictness and punishment. It's in Pisces, it's in the domain of compassion, of grace, faith, and empathy, which can bring ease and healing to Virgo, right? Virgo's anxiety comes from the fear of realizing that there are variables beyond their control, and that they will be out of the resources. It's this fear, right? It's a fear that they'll be out of the resources necessary to fix a problem or to restabilize themselves. Like, do I have the inner resources? Like, can I mentally, right? Because Virgo is mercurial, right? Do I have the mental faculties to navigate this unpredictability? Or it's an earth sign as well. So do I have the tangible three-dimensional resources to make it through this situation? So they do whatever they can. They mope or they fixate or they nitpick or control because they are avoiding entirely being in a situation where they feel helpless, right? And incapable of changing their situation for the better on their own. So I was like, you have a problem when Saturn of all planets is telling you to chill. It's like Moon in Virgo is like, Saturn? You're telling me that I need to chill, but you're Saturn. And Saturn's like, yeah, I'm in Pisces now though, right? So it's really about discipline through spirit, discipline through our spiritual practices, discipline in our spiritual perspectives, our spiritual journey, right? That then dictates our emotional abilities to navigate the unpredictable without trying to control, but knowing that we're capable of achieving. Again, it goes back to this theme of being self-confident, right? You don't have anxiety of unpredictable situations because you're confident that regardless of what it is, that you're going to be mutable and figure it out. You're going to be adaptable. You're going to be resilient. You're going to utilize your mental faculties, your intellect, your resources to be able to navigate through the fog, Pisces, the uncertainty. So that's what I feel like Saturn, because when we have aspects with the moon, understand that the moon is receiving information from the other planet. So that's what Saturn is teaching the moon in Virgo. It's like, as long as you stay disciplined to spirit, as long as you stay committed to spirit, to your higher self, to letting go of self-criticism, you're always going to have what it takes to make it through this other experience of uncertainty, because you've done it in the past, and you can look at observable experiences where all odds were against you, but you made it through, and you have the capacity to do that again. So I think overall we're ending this week on a note where, yes, even Saturn is telling us to chill out and to not worry, and as long as we maintain the frequency of faith, that all of the resources needed to make certain changes and shifts will be there right at our disposal in ways that we didn't even imagine, because we're not worried about it. We're just staying present to realize, how do I orchestrate? Virgo's really good at orchestrating a lot of those different variables. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to turn this up to this percentage, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to shift here, and then I'm going to do this. We need to be present in order to conduct this orchestra of how all of these individual pieces are going to play into the bigger masterpiece, right? But we can't do that if we're worrying. We have to be present in our ability to move and shift and change things around us. So that's what I was getting for Sunday's energy. Empress, you could take us home.
Girl, I thought we were Earth sisters. Like, how you just gonna air Virgo out like that? I'm literally over here with the eyes like, what the hell? Like, girl, the Virgo community does not appreciate how you just tried to come for us as a Capricorn. I'm just gonna leave it there. But let's get into Sunday, guys, to close out the week. It's Palm Sunday. We have the moon in Virgo, and it is opposing Saturn in Pisces. In the tarot, this is the High Priestess in the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles opposing the World in the Moon and Knight of Cups energy. And girl, I was really in my Virgo energy, because I was like, there is no time left, nigga. Sorry. Oh my God. This channel's not for kids, okay? But I was literally feeling like there's no time left. Like, we just used up all the time, y'all. You just gotta, Miss Trunchbull, push your ass on the front of the stage right now. You gotta go out and perform right and nothing now. Like, you have to show up for yourself starting today. If you have not already been taking it seriously, it was just like me feeling like, okay, it has to be today. It has to be today. And so I'm just laughing so much harder than I'm expressing because of what you said, Soul. But this opposition is a gateway that can only be accessed by walking on a tightrope and trusting. And I feel like that tightrope that I was visualizing is more mimicking like how I'm feeling, you know, as well. Like, oh my gosh, in order for me to go onto this gateway, like, we have to walk on this tightrope. And I don't feel like I'm alone. You know, a lot of us have that feeling of, oh my gosh, like, if I don't have any time left and I get pushed out on the stage right now today, like, what am I about to perform? Like, what am I about to bust out with? Am I going to start crumping? Am I going to start, you know, like, Soldier Boy, tell it. Like, what am I going to do first? Like, what's going to happen? I don't even know, you know? And so this is really trusting. And you have to decide whether you're going to do it or not. You know, what are you going to say? When you walk the tightrope, when you actually go out on the stage, you'll realize that it quickly becomes a walkway with just a few steps on that tightrope. And there are people in the collective celebrating your arrival to your path. That synchronization, that connection, that successful connection to the spy-fi that I was talking about. The spiritual fidelity, not the Wi-Fi, the spy-fi. Okay, I'm going to be talking about this probably for Aries season or, yeah, maybe longer, but we'll see. So this is a great day where you making that decision to show up for yourself results in people celebrating your arrival to yourself. And all you had to do to get there was trust your ability to let go and be guided. Like I said earlier, run into mommy and daddy's arms. Why? Go ahead. You know you've been wanting to. And for some of us, like today, I even did this today, guys. I gave myself the biggest hug and it felt so good. We have an internal divine feminine and masculine. You can give yourself a hug, like Aset's embrace, if you guys know anything about Kemetic yoga. But yeah, so just doing that in practice really helps you, especially on a day like today. I would suggest that all you have to do is get to a place where you trust your ability to let go and be guided. Make these types of decisions, you know, or making these types of decisions can bring up feelings, right? Feelings of anxiety and stress and worry and doubt and fear. So expect them. We are grown out here at this point. We've gone through life. Life been lifing. Life was lifing last year. So we've been through some things. We know certain situations are going to bring up certain emotional responses. So expect them and don't get flustered. Don't get so flustered that you panic and run. Don't be that person in the scary movie that is annoying. You know that person in the scary movie where they're like, shut up. Everyone's trying to hide from Freddy Krueger and this person's in their corner like, I'm gonna leave. I need to. Girl, where are you going? Just chill. Just sit like Saturn. Like you said, just chill. Sit in your spot and wait till Freddy goes to another house. So it's one of those things where you just have to trust your ability. Sit there and trust. Allow yourself to be guided. Don't panic and run. Just breathe in the life force energy that Aries season is bringing. This is a new, amazing, beautiful energy. A vibrant, action-based energy. So breathe it in. Let's inhale. Hold it in. Hold in that life force energy. And exhale. And as one of our soul sisters, Amani the Hood Healer, says, if you got breath, you got options. As long as you got breath, you got options. So Saturn is saying, just work on your spy-fi. You know, Saturn took a hit of the spiritual spliff when it first got into Saturn. Okay, Saturn entered Pisces at 1 degree, and then all the ancestors were like, hey, Saturn, come take a swift of the blunt, you know, come take a swift, you know. And so Saturn's like, oh, I'm always so uptight all the time. All right, whatever. I made this journey all the way to the end of this shit. I deserve to take at least one puff of the joint. Okay? So Saturn took a puff of the joint. And now we're entering Aries season like, oh my God, Moon and Virgo, shit's not done. We need it. And we look to Saturn like, nigga, you need to be the one to tell us what to do. And Saturn's like, just chill. Virgo's like, what? Chill? Capricorn, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this, Capricorn? Saturn told us to chill. What do you have to say for this? You know? But it's like, just relax. Hold the life force energy is that spiritual, smoke. Hold that spiritual smoke in. Hold it in and then exhale it. Right? That's what Saturn's saying to us on a day like today. Saturn got into the rhyming game. I'm not gonna lie, this is what I got. Saturn is saying, work on your spy-fi, because that's what's keeping you alive. So I don't know what that means, So you don't have a choice but to structure your world around it. You don't have a choice but to structure your life around your spiritual connection, because that's what's keeping you alive on this earth. So you don't have a choice but to structure right now. Just chill and connect to the spirit, right? Because if it wasn't for the spy-fi, nothing would receive the current of electricity that is the lifeblood of the universe. That's a quick glimpse of the depth of Saturn and Pisces energy together. Once that spiritual smoke and that spiritual spliff wears off, we're going to get into some real stuff. Don't you worry throughout this year, right? That's a glimpse. That's where we can get into, with Saturn and Pisces, the ruler of realms, the ruler of entertainment realms, political realms, dream realms, the rulers of these realms, of realities, of dimensions, planets, worlds. This is where we get into game masters, Alice in Wonderland type stuff. Who's really behind the curtain? Wizard of Oz, We get into movies like Jupiter Ascending, universal rulership. So take Saturn seriously and really take in that advice to just chill. Ultimately, we all know Saturn's not one to be played with. So this is a really strong but also calm way to end the week. And if you guys would like to book, right now would be the best time to book a personal consultation, because this energy is really helping us to align for a dynamic year. And I really love how this week complements last week, though. Like, there's so many things that happened. So if you guys have not listened to the YouTube that we put up or the podcast, please go ahead and go back to that so that it helps you to come more into these transits that we're experiencing for this week. Thank you so much for all of you being in this Astro Fam with us. Like we mentioned before, we are now expanding to YouTube, so definitely check us out there, and that way you can go with us through every single day of the week, because it is time stamped in addition to the podcast. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out here and just say thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of AstroTea. We really enjoyed your energy and look forward to seeing you next week Sunday. And just be sure to check out our link tree to join the email list, and also follow us on Instagram and become a member of our club here on Clubhouse to catch up with us between episodes. Go ahead and order our AstroTea products by clicking the link at the top of the screen as well, like the AstroTea journal and the astrological calendar. And you can even book a personal consultation with us. Really great time during Aries season. So we love you all so much, and have a terrific week.